Voting still underway right now, but you better get your ballots in soon. Election day this Tuesday, and it will be the last day that you can mail in a ballot. Now, a recent UC Berkeley poll shows 60% of likely voters oppose recalling Governor Newsom. But today in the Bay Area, Democrats and others working to defeat the recall were rallying to get out the vote. KPIX5's John Ramos has the story.
The polls may say that the recall is in trouble, but with 3 days left to go before the election, Democrats aren't taking anything for granted. Anger over mask mandates, closed schools, and a dinner at the French Laundry put Gavin Newsom in danger of being recalled. This morning, those opposing the recall met in Hayward for a Get Out the Vote rally, focusing on African American and Latino neighborhoods.
Everyone's got an absentee ballot vote, so we just need to make sure they turn it in.
Is that the challenge with this election?
It's a challenge. It's a turnout game, so we have to make sure the voters are turning out.
It is a turnout game. Democrats are the majority, but all along, recall supporters have seemed to be more motivated.
The enthusiasm for yes on recall is very high. And like I said, I think it has been high. It isn't just building, it's been very high. And I think that it hasn't gotten any better for the governor during the course of this recall.
But polls now show the recall effort losing by 22%. Still, Democrats and union leaders are concerned about complacency, and they gathered in San Jose, dispatching workers door to door to get out the vote. And the fact that Liz Shuler, president of the AFL-CIO, was in attendance is an indication of how closely the nation is watching this recall.
The progressive gains that have been made in California are at stake. And if this recall were to go the other direction, we see that as a tipping point, that perhaps positive gains that have happened across the country would be at risk.
Almost forgotten in the battle is who would replace Newsom. The leading contender, conservative radio host Larry Elder, currently polls at 38% of those supporting the recall.
I think the concern is what type of leader do we need in Sacramento, and is that leader going to represent the majority of voters and constituents in California? And the candidates running for governor don't represent any of those shared values.
But so far, Republican leaders have been reluctant to even discuss who would be a worthy replacement. They just know they want Newsom out.
This is a recall, as I said, that is a referendum on Gavin Newsom. To me, it's irrelevant how many candidates there are who are running to replace him.
And the fear of that unknown has become a motivating factor for those opposing the recall. In San Jose, John Ramos, KPIX5.
Now, the poll by UC Berkeley's Institute on Governmental Studies shows that 90% of likely Democratic voters oppose the recall, while 92% of Republicans will vote for it.